Welcome to Sipping on Excellence. This is Coach KJ, and I'm here with my man, my dude, the Doc.
And this is where we will be discussing the exceptional that is absolutely attainable. My friends, here's to living that extraordinary life.
Cheers.
All right.
Let the dance begin.
Why do I keep saying that? All right.
I don't know. I have no idea.
When did I start it?
That's a part of what we say.
It just started.
What you say.
Yeah. It started out of nowhere, and I just kept.
But you know what? You know what though? It makes it easy to line it up when I'm editing. I'm like, cut it right there.
There's a method to the madness. I knew it.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's where the magic starts. Welcome to Sipping on Excellence.
Another week on the mics, y'all.
Oh, my goodness. Life is grand.
Got a good one.
Got my coffee. You
got my tea.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, a little fancy with the tea today.
Yeah, that's what we do, man. That's what we do.
I got to get that out of my teeth.
Yeah, we just gonna get some white out.
That would be so.
What's funny is the youth of today don't even know what whiteout is, man.
Man, they don't know what a pencil is, let alone
can't write in cursive
at all.
Ask them when was the last time they signed their name and it wasn't on DocuSign digital. Right? Think about it. I bet they don't even know how to write a check
at all. At all. You know, it's funny when you don't write enough, how you start spelling. You're like, wait a minute, how do you spell that? Because you're used to just
doing this.
Yeah.
Even I don't write as much anymore.
Yeah.
You know, because I used to write all the time, but now at work we have paperless charts.
Yeah.
Everything's click and go. You know, but anyhow, man, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, bro.
He just had a little mini vacay with the wife.
It's her
relaxed
birthday,
a little bit.
took care of her, made sure she was good. We had a great time. People say, why did you go to Palm Springs? Because it's Palm Springs.
Yeah, and it's close.
They're like, well, it's so hot. Well, what are you going to do in Palm Springs? Sit at the pool anyway.
Whether it's hot or cold.
Which was the best because there was nobody there. We had the whole resort. Too bad they had cameras. I would have ran around the whole place naked.
Thank God for the cameras. He says too bad. We're saying thank God.
Oh, man.
Mess around. Catch a case up in here. He's feeling good about himself. He's back on track with his workouts, his diet.
Oh, well, you know, I had that grown man activity last week, too.
True. Everybody needs to get checked.
Everybody.
Go get
colonoscopy.
Go get your colonoscopy. If you're over 40, go get checked.
And if you have acid reflux, I can't say it.
Up and down. Up and down.
What it got? What's the other one? It go through the throat?
Just an upper endoscopy.
There you go. I can't say that word.
Endoscopy. Yeah.
That goes back to my writing.
You got to go both ways. This is a public service announcement from two health professionals.
Oh, man. Let me tell you.
You got two people that want to see y'all actually live.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. For real.
We do it. You need to do it.
Yeah. Sippers. I'm going to start calling y'all sippers. That's my new nickname. Y'all sippers. Y'all listen. Y'all sipping on what we sipping on.
I ain't calling y'all shit. So, let me tell you, man.
Tell me.
So, before we'll get to the topic. Okay. So, I was talking to my mom, and she's having, all of her peeps, like, listening to this. And they're like, why does your son, he curses? My mom was like, yeah, you ain't never heard a curse word before? Like that, right? And she was like, don't act like you don't. They're like, well, he's on a platform. Yeah, so he can say what he wants. Like that, right? But she was basically like, they were saying, the F word, he says that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called real life.
Yeah.
You watch movies, don't you?
Yeah, we talking real life shit.
These are conversations I have with people.
Yeah.
If you can't handle the F word, then you got way more issues in life than me on this podcast.
And also, it'd be different if you were dropping it. There was no context to it.
No, it
has its frame. It has its place.
It's like putting an explanation at the end of a sentence.
Yeah.
It's just getting the point across. It's not like I'm walking around saying F this, F that.
Yeah.
No.
just because.
No, this is normal conversations that normal human beings have. Just because you see me in a different light because of my title doesn't mean I am not a black man first. Woo. And I can say and act ever I want.
Right. Not going to, what did I say? I'm not going to censor who I am so you can be okay.
Yeah. That part. You know?
We do it way too often.
I'm not trying to make you feel better about yourself.
It's the problem that we have in this world today. Everybody wants to give their opinion.
Who said it best? Prime time. Remember what he said? What makes you think I care about your opinion of me?
He's prime.
Yeah. You know, and once you reach a certain point in life, you do care what people think. You care how people feel, but you don't censor yourself like Coach said, so you could feel. I don't censor me so you feel better.
Right.
Because you don't have to listen.
Right.
But I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
And my mom's friends were probably like, he just thinks he's all that. Okay. I don't know y'all no way, so it don't matter.
Think about how much life you're missing out from your censorship.
Yeah.
On yourself.
Exactly.
You're missing out on probably more than half.
Think about all the shit you bottle up.
Yeah.
Because you're afraid to let it out, because you're afraid what the person across from you is going to think or feel. And we talk about all the time in relationships. People bottle stuff up because they don't want to hurt the other person or upset the other person. So you just bottle it all up and you get stressed out and have acid reflux and you stress out, your back hurts, your neck hurts. You're all walking around bunched up because you don't want to have a conversation.
Because the body always keeps score. The body will tell you each and every time what's going on.
Exactly.
With what's going on between that dome. Between them ears.
Right? But people are always so worried about offending somebody. You know, we've become a society of just soft batch. Just we're everybody's walking on eggshells instead of just being themselves. If you're being your authentic self, if I don't like it, I can still appreciate that you're being yourself.
Yeah.
If I don't like who you are as your authentic self, I just don't have to deal with you.
Right.
But I'm still going to be like, at least they were up front. If you look at me and say, you know what, I just don't like black people.
Thank you.
I'm glad I know.
I appreciate you telling me.
You know, I'm like, shit, that stings a little bit, but I get it. If you're being yourself. I'd rather you tell me that you feel that way instead of just feeling that way.
Yeah. And I mean, simply, I have a question. Oh, why?
Yeah.
Help me understand why.
Yeah.
I don't need you to like baby me. Just tell me why.
Just tell me what's up.
Like, what's up? How'd that happen? How'd you get to that space? That's interesting. Okay.
What brought you to that?
Right.
You know? But I meant to tell you about it when she talked to me about it last week, and I was like, this is something that I thought was interesting. That I bet there are a lot of people out there. But the thing is, too, they'll go listen to a comedy show. They'll go because they think it's part of an act.
Right.
If it's an act, it's not offensive. But if it's real life, you're getting offended by something I'm saying that's not even directed to you. Make that make sense. You know?
Absolutely no dynamic behind it.
No. Make that make sense. But it was interesting, right?
You know, whatever.
Yeah, so other than that, man, week was good.
Sorry, mama friends.
Not sorry.
Exactly.
Other than that, week was good, man.
Yeah.
Taking care of some people. And
yeah. You taking care of people. How's the foundation?
Dude, we got big project coming up. As soon as we sign this agreement, I'm going to tell you all about it.
Yeah.
I want this to be bottled up, but I'll just let you know this. It's 100% about kids and their families.
That's all you need to know.
Educating kids, taking care of their families, feeding the hungry, all in one spot.
Being bigger than what it is.
Thinking small and gets you nowhere.
Yeah.
And so the reason why we bring this up is because we were having a conversation and somebody sent me a message and it was a simple question, said, would you guys consider this as a topic for the podcast or our live? And it was basically, is it okay to just be content, or am I considered a failure if I'm not striving for more, to be better or to do whatever it may be? And it made me think. And so I immediately sent it to Coach. I was like, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so,
and I sent
and
back
he and
an
I
answer.
had different takes on that. All I did was send him the sentence, but we had different takes on the sentence, and there's no right answer. It was just, he said what it meant to him. I said the way I looked at it, and we about to touch on all of that.
Right.
In case y'all want to know. And so the question I pose, and it'll start off, do you hold it against somebody, or do you look at them as less than or as a failure if they say, you know what, I'm perfectly content in my job. I don't need to rise through the ranks. I'm not striving to be in the C-suite. I don't want to be the boss. I don't need to be CEO of the company. Are they considered a failure if they're not working towards that goal? What if they're just happy being where they are, providing for their family and living their life? Is that considered failing?
It depends on who you ask.
Well, here's the thing. If you're asking that question of yourself, then you're failing, because you're questioning whether or not, because if you're asking that question, then you're not content. And if you're not content, you have to ask yourself why.
Yeah.
What is it about? Is it the position at your job? Is it changing jobs? Is it your life at home? Is it your career choice? What is it that makes you ask the question, am I a failure for not wanting to do more?
Yeah. Also, and the way I was answering and thinking, are you aligning yourself with your thoughts, or are you aligning yourself with others' thoughts? Like it's like him over there, he making all this money, but I'm right here. Am I not striving? Am I not pushing myself enough?
Well, what ends up happening to that point is you're looking at people in your circle who are ambitious.
Yes.
Who are on the go, like, all right, we got this project, let's do the next one. Let's do this one. Let's do that one. And if you're just like, well, I was okay with where I am, but am I bad for not having the drive you have? We say this all the time. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Correct.
You don't need, some people may say I'm crazy for being as ambitious as I am, but it's not ambition. I just need to keep busy. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
And the reason this came up is because I'm working on this project in Ethiopia with the foundation, and the group I'm working with came to me with an idea. And my immediately response to them was, that's cool, but you're thinking too small. Mm-hmm. And then I threw out ideas of how to think much bigger on a larger scale. And then we came back and met, and we've been building this project, and it's at a larger scale. And I made a comment yesterday that says, this is the beginning. Don't be content, because this is still too small. And they're like, oh, this dude's for real. The first time I said it, they were like questioning whether or not I was for real, because this was the first meeting. The second time I said it, they're like, oh, he's putting his words into action. Well, yeah, I think 10 steps ahead, because I can see 10 steps ahead. It's okay if you only see one step ahead. You're still moving forward.
Right.
I think you get tired when you start treading water. You know what I mean? I think that's when you get tired, because you don't see progress in whatever it is. Any aspect of your life, if you're treading water. In your relationship, if you're treading water.
Correct.
You're not growing, so then you're getting tired. And then the relationship becomes more tiresome than it does enjoyable.
You're working way too hard.
You're working hard to move nowhere.
Correct.
And then you start swallowing water. You start sinking a little bit. Sink a little more. Why? Because you're not swimming that way. And I think that's what, and it's not necessarily just ambition. Ambition is one thing. I think in some parts of your life, even just you as a human being, you should try to be better.
Of course.
You know what I mean? I think that
In some capacity.
in some capacity,
Whether it's physically, whether it's, your connection with people, whatever it is.
you should try to be a better human.
Yes.
Whatever's going to make you a better human is what you should strive for. You don't have to be ambitious at your job, but you should say, you know what? I'm gonna be the best mom I can be. I'm gonna be the best dad I can be. I'm gonna be the best friend I can be.
Yeah. It's kind of like what you were saying in respects to, and not the same thing, but when you did that post a few weeks ago about why should I be excited about your next big venture that you did, or your kids graduating, or whatever that is. What have you done to help someone else? What have you done to be a better person for other people? Whether it's even just get in front of the camera and just, hey, I know if you're struggling, blah, 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 blah. Just
I
pop it
hear
on
you.
there.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? I'm seeing you. Have you ever thought about this? Just giving you information, because now you're delivering something to people that that one person might hear it and be like, oh,
You know what? I usually walk around with sort of a resting bitch face. Tomorrow, I'm going to smile at somebody. That right there, you're doing something for somebody else that's going to make you better. Now, the next day, I'm going to smile at two people. Yeah. All of a sudden, now, I'm more pleasant to people. I'm becoming a better human.
Yeah.
But I think people get stuck in a rut. And if you're asking that question about, should I feel bad for not wanting more? I think you want more, and you feel bad because you don't want to do what it takes to get more. If you're okay where you are, who gives a shit if people think you should be doing more?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I hate when I hear people say, you have all these degrees, not towards me, but like they'll tell the people, you have all these degrees and you're doing nothing with it. Because I don't care to. I'm a barista at a local coffee shop, and I enjoy meeting people and making the best latte ever.
Right.
Why? Because it's got nothing to do with the money. It's got everything to do with I just enjoy these interactions. And I know people like that.
Yeah, I know the degree person that
I know somebody's got a law degree. I know somebody who's got a law degree who worked at Starbucks. And her and I would say hello. This was years ago, all the time. And I'm like, I get it. Why do you do this? I just feel like it. She's like, because practicing law wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But does it mean she's not ambition drove her to get her law degree. Yeah. Wanting to be just a good human and live her life the way she wanted to on her terms led her to be a barista.
It's like I knew a guy that he was a divorce attorney. Mm-hmm. And he's seen them all come in. He had to carry a gun because, it get a little
dicey.
It get real dicey in that courtroom sometimes. Right. But he said one thing that he said it exhausted him.
Yeah.
And he said, I learned what the issue was with most people. It's their communication. He completely switched gear, became a coach with communication, and just travels the country talking to different people about communication. This is what helps.
And the thing is, you don't need to have a BA in communications.
No.
You don't need to have a psychology degree. You don't need to have you don't need to be a licensed clinical social worker. Yeah. What you need to do is know how to communicate with people in order to teach people how to communicate. Or even just teach people how to understand themselves so they can communicate better.
Correct.
Because there's no one communication style that works for everybody.
That's honestly that's what a coach does.
Yeah.
You're not telling them how to communicate. You're telling them how they can become a better communicator.
How to tap into the shit that they have as their resources, their talents. I'm going to teach you to tap into your talents to just be better.
Yeah. And being better is just a part of that process of
growth
and going and not standing still.
Now, should you feel like not a failure, but should you feel like you're having some issues if you have no goals? If you have no life goals, are you failing in life?
Yeah.
Think hard about that one. Yep.
I don't have to be dark.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do with, I think every time we think of goals, we think of the monetary, finance.
We think of hard achievements.
Exactly.
Financial achievements, accolades, praise.
No. I'm talking about what's going on here and here.
My goal is, you know what? I want to make more of my day. So I want to say, you know what? One of my goals is to get up at 5 o'clock and work out. If that's what you're setting your goal as, that's a goal. Nobody's going to know you're doing that shit. Nobody's going to praise you for it, but your body will thank you for it if that's what you're trying to do. Or my goal is I'm going to eat a little better. Or my goal is, you know what? I'm going to read a book a week or a book a month. Nobody cares at all. People will look at your life because your day-to-day life to them seems stagnant, seems you haven't grown here, but they don't know that your mind is growing because you're reading a book a week.
Right.
It's not something anybody can see, but you have reached a goal and you're continuing to increase those goals without the world knowing. So just because other people don't see the things you're ambitious about doesn't mean that you failed.
Right. I was, because you know why? It's not sexy.
At all.
That's what it is. We're so fixated on that dopamine kick. You know,
I want other people to know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
I want the like button.
Yeah. Like, love, and that's it.
Like, love, and applause.
Right.
I don't need your applause.
Yeah.
I really don't.
There's a book I just finished, and the guy was talking about how we're so fixated on that dopamine kick and that need to be liked or to be loved in those moments, and how like, oh, I lost 20 pounds in 3 weeks, and that spike, and that I look better and this and that, as opposed to, did I change all these habits and just under the radar, it just kept going, because you're going to spike and it's going to come crashing down.
Yes.
And then they're going to like, well, what happened? Now you have to start back over again versus like your boy Chris Rock, bitch, hip. Everybody want that.
Right. And what's funny is I tell this to my patients all the time. They come into my office every day, and especially early on after surgery, I'm still having pain. Surgery didn't work.
Yeah.
And so what I always tell them is you're gauging your life based on a metrics you set the day before. I'm looking at your life in increments. Like, I see you day one, you're miserable. I see you on the day of surgery, you're miserable. But I see you 6 weeks later and you're better. You can't remember where you were 6 weeks ago. You just remember, I'm not a whole lot better than I was yesterday. And then it's my job to point out, remember you were on a gurney when you came into my office and now you walked in, but I'm still having pain. You walked in, you were in a wheelchair before. What? And they're like, oh yeah. So it's that mentality. Surgery didn't work because I'm not perfect. But you forget the progress that you've made over time because you keep comparing yourself to the day before.
Right. Well, think about
life's a trend.
Think about our deadlift scenario.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not going to do this.
I was like, I'm not doing this shit.
And I said, okay. Sure, no problem. But I kept
this MF tricked me. He tricked me.
Pick this up, pick that up, pick it up this way, hinge here. We're just going to hinge. We're just going to do this, just going to do that. Little by little, just kept pecking away. Never said we're deadlifting.
Yeah.
We're not deadlifting. I just want you to pick this up this way. I just want you to feel the weight. What does it feel like in your hands? How do your glutes feel? How do your hamstrings feel? Just kept that up. What was it like?
Jedi mind trick.
Like four some months later, 5 months later, he's like, huh? And that T level
went up.
Had to
Jedi mind trick. Yeah. But it works.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah. And it's all about progress. It's not, stop comparing your progress to others' progress.
Correct.
We keep saying this comparison thing is the thief of joy. people always say you should surround yourself with people smarter than you and blah, 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 because it'll drive you to do more. It will
if you want to.
If you want to do more. But if your only goal of doing more is because you want to play catch up with the people around you instead of just learning from the people around you, then you're going to always be miserable.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to say, and this is what I tell people, if you're in a room with ambitious people, if your inner circle is ambitious, they're not going to stop progressing, wait for you to catch up, and then go. Just how you're progressing, they're progressing. So you're never going to catch up in your mind. So there are going to be things that you are much better at than them because that's why they have you in the room. But all you see is the stuff they have that you don't. And now you're making yourself miserable trying to match their ambition when that's probably not your life's plan or goal.
Yeah. And the people I hang around in the industry, for the longest, I want to say it was maybe 5-6 years ago. And my wife and I, we were in Orange County. We were at a dinner with this group. Mm-hmm. And realizing at that moment, I said, I'm at the table with these people because I have a seat at the table, not because they invite
Not because you bought a ticket to listen to them.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah. Yeah. I told my wife, though, I said, I'm kind of like, at that point, I said, I'm kind of like Patrick Swayze in Ghost. You got the people on the stage, and you have the people in the audience. I'm kind of in between, trying to find my way. But I'm not the person in the audience because I'm hanging out with the people on the stage.
Well, and the thing is, you're there for a reason, even if you don't know why you're there.
Correct.
And it's not for you to decide why they put you at the table. It's your job to contribute to the table.
Correct.
And that contribution to the table may just mean, oh, Kenny's a good listening ear and he always has objective opinions. Done. Whatever it may be. Or there may be 1,000 questions that get thrown out with 1,000 answers. 1,001 is the question that you have the answer to that nobody else does. And when it pops up, you're like, oh, I got this one. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
you're contributing to the table.
Yeah.
If you're always sucking, you're going to start to realize those invitations to come to dinner are going to be less. Correct. Because you're no longer contributing to that dinner conversation where moves are made. Rome was built by people sitting around a table and talking about the Colosseum. Mm-hmm. You have, and you may not even know that moves are being made, and they'll be like, oh, I want to do this thing. Kenny was good at this. Let me call him. And it may just be a reach out. Hey, man, how you doing? You good? And how you answer that question, hey, man, how you doing? You good? If you're like, oh, man, well, immediately they're like, well, I'm not fucking with him.
Yeah. Oh,
and they were calling you for you to make you part of some shit, and you immediately shot yourself in the foot because you hadn't heard from them in a while. Or you're like, here's my man so-and-so who's killing the game, and he's calling me just to check on me, and I'm not doing as well as him, so I'm in a funk now that I see his name on my phone. And it's like, well, he may have been calling you because he might want to help you to help him with a project, which could stem into other things. Yeah. So when people call me and say, hey, I want to meet with you, whatever, I'm never funky about it. I feel out what it is first, and then I tell myself, yeah, that ain't for me. And I don't shoot them down. I just drag it out. Because
you have to, though.
Because it may be for me later. Somebody brings it to me once, and I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Then somebody else brings it to me, and all of a sudden now I'm hearing 3 or 4 people talk about this thing. I'm like, maybe I should jump on it.
But it all sounds different from different people.
But now that many people are talking about it, maybe it's something that I should look into because it really wasn't presented to me great the first time. I was like, I'm cool on that.
Yeah.
Somebody else presents it, and I'm like, oh, I heard about that. Shit, why am I hearing about it again? Is there something to this? Now it's turning in my brain. And it's not about me being ambitious. It's just being open to being better. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm ambitious. Those of you who know me out there, I'll sink my teeth into anything if it makes sense.
Right.
if it makes sense. You know,
because it's not always going up. Sometimes we have to go a little bit.
you got to do some lateral moves at times to, you know, and you got to turn the fire on a bunch of pots to get one of them to at least cook.
Yeah.
Buddy of mine said something to me the other day about investing, and he was like, everybody comes to you with projects that they think are the next biggest thing. Oh, dude, this is going to be the next Uber. You know how many next Ubers there were before there were Uber? Before there was Uber? Not everything is going to be a home run. And somebody told me, he's like, to get to one home run, you got to strike out a whole lot. You got to hit a bunch of singles, and then maybe you'll get a home run.
Right.
For every 20 projects you invest in, you might have one that gets you on base. But for every 100 you invest in, you might hit a home run.
And it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know everything, it has to make sense.
And what I mean investing in, I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about anything you invest your time in, anything you invest resources in.
Correct.
You know, friendships that you put your time into, not every single one of them are going to pay back dividends. You'll learn from it, so that's a payback in itself. But you got to know when, hey, I got to sell this stock because it just ain't performing. Yeah. You got to know when to walk away from that company.
Yeah, yeah.
We talked about that, knowing when to walk away.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know, a lot in investing in friendships, one of the things I think people, because of, and I always go back to the world we live in now, it's everything is very transactional. It's very short, and people's mindset is already fixed on the transactional versus the possibility of what could go further.
Yeah.
You know, like I had this brother that I talked to that we exchanged because I used to come to my class. Great conversation. Now he wanted to connect. He's like, I need to connect you with X, Y, and Z. So he sent me some DMs, messaged me. I made my connections with these people, but I was making a connection with him, and I wanted to make that clear with him.
Yeah.
And I continue to make that clear and say, hey, listen, I hadn't talked to you in a minute. Hope you're doing well. I mean, ever since we made a connect, I just want to make sure that we stay connected. You know, this has nothing about me getting something from you.
Yeah.
I want to stay connected to you.
Right.
Because I enjoy you.
Yeah, and just think about it in sales. People like the car guy who we both know.
Yes. Even my wife knows him.
Yeah. So I point this fact out because there's so many people in the car sales business that are content with getting that one sale today.
Yeah.
And so they do everything it takes to get that one sale and get the most money out of that one sale. Whereas people that I know that are killing the game in car sales are the ones who are like, you know what? I don't see this guy as one car. I see this guy as a new car every 2 to 3 years. Mm-hmm. And so why do I need to kill him on this first deal and make him go elsewhere when I could say, you know what? He walks out of here thinking, I got a great deal. We made some money. He feels happy about it. And his experience was phenomenal. Why? Because now I've built that relationship.
Yeah.
So if you're content with that one sale, and then when the next guy comes in, you'll just be content with that one sale? Or are you ambitious and saying, you know what? I want to sell this guy 10 cars over the next 10 years. I want him to send all of his friends to me, because if he's buying cars like this, his friends buy cars like this, and I will be their guy.
Perfect example with that. I used to work at Polo store. Mm-hmm. And in the Polo store, we used to have to keep books. And we used to start our day off by learning to put certain gear together, matching things up. If you you create your roster of clients, you say, hey, I got something for you. Got something for you to think about. And maybe because we didn't have phones then.
Yeah.
Can't take a snapshot of it and send it to them.
Which was good, because now you have that personal interaction.
Exactly. So you get a phone call. Hey, listen, we got this, and this. I don't know what your schedule's like.
I set it aside for you.
I said, yeah. and just you pull out everything, just lay it on.
You're still this size, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's the smart
And it
thing
used
to do.
to kill. It used to kill. I was always selling.
Because the thing is, it makes people think like you're thinking about them when they're not thinking about you. And it shows, oh, this guy's ambitious. He's a hustler. And he knows I like this gear. So now he's like, I'm giving him first dibs at this.
Which led to my first job. Big job. that
Yeah.
is. I ended up working for the Atlanta Hawks after that. Because I used to
remember you
sell
told me that, yeah.
manager.
Yeah. And so it's all about how your ambition can be looked at based on the relationships you make. You may not think, oh, I'm ambitious, but you say, you know what? I just want to grow. And so I'm doing things so I have personal growth, which then translates into the same outcome as somebody. Because you can be ambitious and be overly so, and you can reach too high, too far, too soon, and fall flat on your face. Or you can just try to be better daily. And as I'm growing, my ambition and goal is just to be better in all aspects.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to do that, you're not failing. If you're not trying to be, so to answer her question, if you're not trying to be better, then yes, you're failing in life. Not necessarily in your job, like we talked about.
Correct.
You pick the things in life that you want to improve, and I guarantee you everything else in your life will follow. If you improve yourself, you can't help but then be better at your job. You can't help but be better as a friend, better as a partner.
Let alone your self-confidence. And that self-confidence breeds energy. It breeds want. It breeds desire. People know who you are before you even say a word. Because you walk into the room, there's, who's this dude?
But you said something, and I'm going to read it because it was actually kind of cool. Let me find this cat. Here it is. He was like, I sent him this text with this thing. And he's like, so finding peace where you're at or chasing your peace where you think it should be. It's kind of deep because when you're thinking about ambition or you're thinking about failing in life, it's not about being at peace. If you're at peace, you're good. If you think ambition is, or if you're chasing peace, or you're chasing things that you think will make you more at peace, you'll never find it.
That
ever
needle will always move.
Oh, it's always going to be, because more. I said this to you, and I was like, you're chasing that ever elusive concept of more.
Right.
More never has an end point. And so you keep chasing that physical more, that monetary more, and it's never enough. And so if you say to yourself, you know what? My bills are paid, I'm set, my kids are set, I'm good. I don't have to make a lot more money. You're not failing in life. It just means the things that you're ambitious about now is different. So now I want to do what? I want to take more vacation.
Correct.
I want to spend more time. And so it's not about I want to make more money. I want to do these other things now because this part's good. So because you're not trying to excel in that respect, and you think if I obtain more, I'll be more at peace, you're sorely mistaken.
Right.
No?
It makes me think about a good friend of mine, Alan Cosgrove, and I'm going to say his name because he's an amazing individual. And I remember this so distinctly. He was on stage and he was talking about growing in the industry and growing with fitness industry. And he said, I am not trying to make a bigger piece of the pie. I'm just trying to give my contribution to make the pie bigger and keep my same piece. Whatever I'm giving to the community is going to continue to help the community to grow, and I'm going to receive and reap the
benefit from it.
reward at that same percentage, which is a lot bigger.
10% of a small pie is way less than 10% of a big pie.
Right.
You know? And so it's funny how, I wonder how people look at failure. And we had an episode a year ago or something about failing and, that kind of thing. And if you're moving forward, are you really failing in life? Or are you just taking the direction where life leads? Now, are you directing your life, or are you letting life direct you?
Right.
I think you fail when you don't take life by the horns and direct it.
Right.
You can't control everything,
Right.
but you can control your response to everything.
Absolutely.
We are a sum of our life's choices. And sometimes we don't make the best choice, but all we are is a sum of our life's choices.
Yeah.
And we just got to continue to.
Yeah. The book that I just finished reading, this gentleman said, he said, you can take this however you want to. Every step that you've taken from the day you were born to the day, this very moment you're reading this page, you are exactly where you're supposed to be.
It's truth.
That's it. Just nothing else to it. Which means if you want more, you have to take more steps.
You have to take a step towards more.
Towards more.
Yeah. And it could be the same steps or it could be different.
Correct.
But you have to, if you know everything you're looking for is on the left, then don't go right.
I mean, don't get any simpler than that, bro.
Right?
I mean, bruh.
But people don't think about that. People don't think about that shit, though.
Yeah, because I think the problem is people want other people to own their problem.
Or I'm ambitious, but I don't want to do the work to get it. I hope that you see my ambition and want to give it to me. You can't. If you sit around all day waiting for people to give you opportunities, you will have none. You create opportunities by the choices you make and the positions you place yourself in, the people you surround yourself with. Those are how opportunities are made. You can't sit back and say, God, I hope somebody opens that door. You still got to turn the effing knob. They'll unlock it for you. You still got to turn the knob. And I may even open the door, but you still got to walk through it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put you in a wheelchair and wheel you through it.
Think about what I just told you right before we started. I had a client tell me, I'm getting bored with the program. And I decided, let me look at his numbers.
Right.
Because I was ready to just, let me go ahead and finish this program. Let me write him a new one. I looked at his program, everything, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20.
Making no progress.
No progress.
And then
but he's bored with the program. I would be too if I'm lifting the same goddamn weight every day.
You're not trying to stress your body a little bit. You're not trying to step up.
Yeah. Doing the same thing, looking for different results. And hopefully the next program will do it for me.
Especially when your goal is growth.
Yeah.
We talk about, like me at 51, I'm like, my goal is maintenance and just trying to keep it moving, and shit doesn't hurt right now. I don't want it to start hurting.
This brother couldn't even squat when we started.
And so
I just sit in it.
Progress. It doesn't happen overnight.
No.
But people want the world now.
Yeah.
And they want maximum output with minimum input.
Easy button, baby.
And there's no such thing.
The easy button.
But they all want that.
They all do.
Like when patients come to me and they're like, I want this. I'm like, I need you to put in the work. I was like, I need you working hard so I don't have to. If I'm working harder than you, then you're having a bad day. That means I'm breaking out tools and your life changes. So I need you to put in the work so I don't have to. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I just want you to fix me. Patients that come and say, I just want you to fix me, I will never operate on them because I know they're not looking at this as a team effort. They're not looking at this as a partnership. They're looking at this as, you're my doctor, I'm the patient, you fix me.
Right.
That's not how this works.
Right. Right.
You know? And so I need you to want to put in the work to better yourself, and I'm going to coach you along the way. Right. I'm going to give you little tweaks and turns and all that so you can get better. It may mean a surgery, but you still got to put in the work. You know? You still got to put in the work.
You do.
Because once I take the knife off your skin, it's on you. Your body's got to heal. You have to follow my instructions. You have to go to therapy.
Right.
You don't do any of those things and you don't get better, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not God.
And sometimes you just got to sit your ass down when I tell you to sit your ass down.
Follow my lead. It's that simple, man. And so I think just moving forward, you guys out there, just understand that your ambition is your ambition. Your lack of ambition doesn't mean you're failing in life. It just means your lack of ambition for the things that other people are striving for is different. As long as you're trying to be better in life, whatever that means to you, that's ambition enough. Right. 1% of people are those crazies that, like me, that try to take on 12 jobs at once, you know, but that's the fuel that burns for us.
Yeah. I'm going to say this because this literally just happened before I got here. You know, I take care of my mama. You know, I go to her house, take out her trash.
Right.
You know, got to keep her happy. You know, we have a few conversations about a couple of things. As I'm leaving, the next door neighbor, this kid, you know, I can't call him a kid because he's in his 40s.
Right.
He says, you know, he's drunk as usual. Yo, you kidding? I said, not today. Not today. So he wants to come over. My mom's standing outside. And she's like, leave him alone. And then I said, no, let him talk. What's up? He said, yo, you want to talk to me? I said, no, I don't. And he says, you know, you got a good life. I said, I do. I have a very beautiful life. He said, my life, I don't have a good life. I said, you could. Stop blaming other people. Stop putting shit on other people. Own your shit and do something about it.
Yep.
You can't expect me to give you a better life. You can't expect your mother to give you a better life. And stop calling your mother out of her name. Stop calling your dad out of his name. Be a man.
It's nobody's responsibility but yours.
Yeah. And I said, I'm out. I got to go work. I got to go record a podcast.
Right. But you said it perfectly. People want to play the blame game. People want other people to make their life better for them, whether it's a spouse, a child. You know, once you're an adult and you're no longer, your happiness is not my responsibility. As a kid, you're my responsibility.
Right.
Once you're a functioning adult, you're no longer, your station in life is no longer my responsibility. It's your job to start doing your own shit. And if you're at 40, still not doing your own shit, you're the problem.
Ambition or not, it's yours.
And stop blaming your past on your inability to function in the now, which keeps you from tomorrow.
Right.
People blame their past as to why they can't be successful. That shit's in the past. Let it the fuck go.
And if you can't, go to therapy.
Yes, but again, learn how to let it the fuck go.
And I'm going to say this because I know we keep on going, but if you go to therapy, use the therapy. Stop relying on the therapy to tell you. They're giving you tools. Utilize them. If
the therapist isn't going to fix your shit.
Right.
They're just going to tell you how you can fix your shit.
Open your mouth when you get there. Let it out. And then take the tools and start applying them. That's what's going to make you more ambitious.
Get past your past so your future looks bright as fuck.
Right. Right.
And if you don't know how to get past your past, get some help. We all have a past that fucks with us. Yeah. Get past your past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you're stuck in it, your life is miserable and everyone around you's life is miserable and people aren't going to want to be around you. And that's what's going to suck your ambition and your drive more than anything, because you'll start to think, I don't deserve to be better.
A little hostile.
Yeah, I don't deserve to be better because of my childhood, or I don't deserve to be better because I had a dad who was an alcoholic. I don't deserve to be better because I was molested as a kid. No. None of that shit's your fault.
And you know what? Stop using the word deserve.
Because you kind of don't deserve shit. Work for it.
That part. Deserve is bullshit. Dessert, maybe, but
sometimes I deserve dessert. I work hard today. I eat a cookie.
Now, you know what you do deserve? I heard this the other day. You deserve to relax if you work.
Yes.
You deserve.
You've earned it.
You've earned it. You deserve, especially as black folk.
Yes.
You deserve to relax.
I ain't expecting you to give me shit. I don't deserve for you to give
take
me
it.
anything. But what I deserve is everything I give myself.
Whew. Whew. Science. The simple science of life, people. That's what I'm talking about.
It ain't hard.
It ain't.
It ain't hard. Life is easy. You make stupid choices, which makes it hard.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah.
People be like, they're going to come at me now. You said life is easy.
It is.
Living life is easy. The circumstances surrounding life, because of the choices you make living your life difficult.
Yeah. I'm so tired of hearing that life is hard. Life is tough.
Change it. I can't. Yeah, you can.
Change anything.
You chose to sit in front of me as opposed to sitting somewhere else. That's one choice you made today. That ripple effect is going to choose to do something else. So make better choices. I'm going to say that one more time. You don't like your life, make better choices.
I don't think we have anything else to say.
No, I'm done. I ain't got shit else to say. I'm done. Coach KJ, where they gonna find you, man?
They're going to find me at Coach KJ Knows on Instagram.
On Instagram.
On Instagram. And they're going to find me at CoachKJ.com.
You can find me at Lionel Hunt on Instagram. You can also find me at huntspine.com. Go check out thehuntfoundation.org. We got some big things happening. We're going to need everybody's support to pull this off and make it go down the way we see it, this big picture. Every week, except for when we don't feel like it, we go live on Saturdays. Everybody's hitting me up. Why we got to go live? You'll be all right. I need my medicine. I bet you do. Every Wednesday, 6 a.m., new podcast comes out. YouTube, Spotify, you name it, Apple Music, whatever. Need you guys to like, subscribe, share, do all the good stuff. Don't just keep it to yourself. Spread the wealth. And with that, we out.
We out.